Well, hello, hello. This is Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C-Suite Networks, Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. So glad you're all here. What an incredible topic today. We're talking about the 7 key moves that you need to make to boost your value, whether you're a coach, consultant, trusted advisor, author, speaker, global influencer, whomever you are. Even to bring it down to how to boost your value with yourself. The number one client that we all have is ourself, our families, our partners, our communities. And so my intention today is, in a very, very speedy and high value way, we'll engage in a conversation about what it takes to increase and boost our value, almost like a rocket ship. You know, rocket ships are up in the world now, what's happening in the world. And boosting people's value and relationships with them is a very personal, and I also think at the same time intergalactic kind of thing. Okay, so here we go. We're just going to continue jumping in. And again, I'm Kathleen Caldwell. I'm a speaker, author, consulting coach. I'm a lover of all things ballroom dancing and Zumba, and my ballroom dancing partner to my beloved husband, Michael Caldwell. And so thank you for the great privilege to do what I love to do. You can see I love adding value by being a teacher and being a strategist and being a friend and a colleague and an ally for the coaching community and consultants. Because as you know, there are now over 8 billion people on the planet. And I think all 8 billion need to have a coach. They need to have an advisor, a trusted advisor, someone and people in their life that they can go to. So ladies and gentlemen, as you're watching the replay or you're here in person, we have a lot to work to do, okay? There are a lot of clients that we need to coach up, okay? And so curious if someone would like to get your powerful voice in the conversation. I always like to start with a definition, if appropriate, because this word value is really tossed around a lot. Would someone like to get their voice in the conversation and read out this definition of value, which is in fact a noun? Just jump right in.
I will. The
Thank you very
monetary
much.
worth of something. And number 2, something such as a principle or quality, intrinsically desirable or important.
Thank you, Connie. Very nice. So value, a lot of people think that it is just money. It's just currency. It's an exchange of energy, but it's also something that's intrinsically desirable or important. And I like to say value is really in the eyes of the beholder, right? Because thinking about, what does value mean to you? What does value mean to you? And honestly, in coach training school and consulting work, gosh, I've been a accredited coach since 1998. We never had training on any of this. And we never really had training in any of the coach training that I went to about how do you create value. Yes, we learned the core competencies. Yes, we learned some very important things, but how do we create value for our clients, our communities, and the world? So just curious, any of you would love to get your voice in here. What does value mean to you in your life? Value. And there's no pressure to share, but I want to make sure I get your thoughts in here, because I'd love for you to walk away with some practical thoughts and practical next steps, because we're going to get very practical in the next moment. Yeah. Connie, thank you. Would you like to add, and what does value mean to you?
I think for me, it's usually about solving a problem or
Mhm.
solving a gap.
Excellent. Excellent. Very, very nice. Yes. Really great. And boy, with that kind of value add, Connie, we will never run out of problems, opportunities, and ways to contribute, right? Yeah,
Someone
yeah,
usually has something that they're resisting or struggling with, and that brings value when someone can alleviate or help with that.
yeah. Brilliant answer. Thank you so much. Yes. So in this conversation, I just invite each of us to think about, what does value mean to us? And of course, how then, where do we find value? with whom do we find value and how do we find value? So whether you're in corporate, you're looking at your internal partners, your colleagues, your managers, your stakeholders, board of directors, whomever it is in your life, even looking at your family and the people that are closest to you, your community. Where are you finding value and with whom and how? Are you a person that finds value with experiences? Are you a person who finds value with fame or fortune or freedom? Are you a person who finds value with things or material possessions? There's no problem with that. Value is often in, people are not buying beautiful BMW cars. They're not finding the same value in that as they would find, in a car that's maybe, just say, be quite honest, maybe $20,000 or, $25,000. The value proposition is different. And or are you finding value with connections in people? So it doesn't have to be an either or with any of these, but I think to start the conversation, to think about where is it and with whom and how do you find value? And this is a great conversation to have with your clients, of course, is what do they value and how does that manifest itself or will manifest itself in the world, in the work they're doing? Are they looking for fame, fortune, freedom? What's the thing that they're going for? Is it connections and community? Is it material things? So I frequently give my clients gifts. All of my clients, I give gifts, and I really tune into what is the gift that would be the most appropriate for them. This platinum rule, Tony D'Alessandro created this many years ago, of the platinum rule. We know the golden rule is treat others the way that we want to be treated. And the platinum rule is, of course, treat others the way they want to be treated. So with this idea of where do you find value? Where do they find value? Really a beautiful and awesome conversation to have. And so, as we're moving on, we're going to get into the 7 key moves that I think we all need to be taking on one at a time, or simultaneously, whatever your game is here. But if we're creating value for people, to know this beautiful Maslow hierarchy of needs here, that if we're creating value for people and they're literally at a place where they're looking, maybe they're making a job transition, or they're moving out of one relationship into another, or perhaps they're having conflict in their life. We're coaching and consulting with them or communicating with them at the self-fulfillment needs level, all at the very top. We're relating to them at that level, but truly they're concerned about their safety needs. They're concerned about their belonging needs. They're looking for relationships and friends. And so keeping in mind that people's value proposition is always changing, and communicating and connecting with them at the level that they're at. Good. So I'm going to pause. Any feedback, comments, ahas just yet, because we haven't even got into our 7 key moves yet. And I think some of this is really intuitive for us. Most of this whole section here is really just a reminder for us of course, that beautiful platinum rule. Thank you. Good. So answering the question. So our first key move, and I'm going to recap this all at the end, is the 7 key moves to provide more value. Is the first one, I think, is answer their key question. WIIFM. You know what's in it for me. It's that beautiful radio station that everyone is listening to in their head. It's their Sirius XM channel. It's their radio channel. It's their YouTube music, wherever they're getting their music these days. They're streaming it on Apple Music, whatever it is. They're listening to their own tune in their own head. And everyone is trying to answer the question, really, what's in it for me? How can I be better? How can I solve this problem? How can I do this? How can I get out of this situation and into this other situation, moving from pain, moving toward pleasure? So you being able to answer the question, what's in it for me? How do we do it? Of course, we ask them, what are your key priorities? What are your conditions of satisfaction, your COS? What are your conditions of satisfaction? For us, as an example, for us to work together in a client relationship, consultant, and you are my client, what are the things that we need to do as a condition of satisfaction? And how will you meet them? So a really, really powerful question here. What are their conditions of satisfaction? And again, in coach training school, we didn't learn about this stuff, conditions of satisfaction, not really in the training curriculum. Do they, as the graphic shows, do they more appreciate money and currency, or are they appreciating new ideas and relationship and stimulation? So knowing what their conditions of satisfaction are, really, really key. So welcome. We've got new ladies joining us. Thank you. We're so glad you're here. And we're talking about the 7 key moves to add more value and to be a more valuable consultant, coach, trusted advisor, thought leader, whether you're in corporate or you're an entrepreneur and you have your own business. So with that, key move number 2 is your communication connection with them. This is really, really, really key, because if you are a coach consultant and you're used to using the regular old style phone, but your client prefers texting, you're not going to be adding value to the relationship, and vice versa. If they're using WhatsApp and you're using text, probably going to be a little communication gap. If you're using Voxer and they prefer voicemail, going to be a little gap there. So key move number 2 is really to get in communication with what's the connection for the two of you. That is a key way that you add value. Communicate with them the way they want to be communicated to. Seems pretty basic, but it's incredibly powerful. Okay. Really incredibly powerful. I'm not a person who really uses Facebook Messenger a lot. And I know I get a lot of Facebook Messenger messages, and I'll be really honest, those are kind of the last things that I look at. So it's not my go-to kind of communication methodology. So find out with your clients and colleagues, what are the tools they use and they like to use. Okay. And then key move 3, deep communication. Of course, deep communication. I love this quote from Stephen Covey, that most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. So deep communication with your clients, your prospects, your community. And, I love this. This is one of the greatest things about coaches is we know how to listen, right? Listen really great. Listen to what they're saying, and also listen to what they're not saying. The words and the meaning and the feelings behind, what they're saying. So that beautiful question about, well, what's up about that? Tell me more about that. How would that make you feel? What's the implication if you don't do anything about this situation? What's the outcome, the likely outcome? So beautiful questions, leading open-ended questions are the key to deep communication. And if you any comments, questions, points of view on this, feel free. I want to get your voices in here. You can jump right in. Okay. So communication style, of course, and then deep communication. How do they want to be communicated with? And then what's the kind of communication that they like? I have clients that literally we could get more done in 15 minutes than having an entire 55-minute coaching call. So what's the kind of communication that they're looking for? And literally transformation, as we all know, can happen in a minute. It can happen in a minute. One shift, one new aha, one new insight can transform an entire relationship and situation in a heartbeat. It doesn't take 55 minutes to have a coaching call. And so one of the things we're doing to add value is, I think, changing the conversation that the standard therapy call or the standard coaching call, I think we can remodel that in today's world. Okay. So again, feel free, use the reactions button, jump right in with comments or questions. I want to get your voice in here. So key move number 4 is with your clients, your colleagues, your coaching clients, your consulting clients, whomever it is. I think really knowing how to add value by what's their yes and what's their no. What's their yes and what's their no? What are they a yes to and what are they a no to? And asking questions, getting into deep relationship with your clients, your colleagues, whomever it is, understanding what's that yes. And as Catherine beautifully always says, Catherine Sellery, founder of the Conscious Parenting Revolution, she always talks about what's the great deep unmet need. What's the unmet need of the other person? And of course, how can you be a guide and mentor to help them fulfill that need? Okay. So what's their yes? What's their no? Know these things, deep relationship with people. That is a way that you add value. And so I'll just pause for a moment for any sort of feedback, communication, anything that you'd like to add. I want to make sure I get your valuable voices in the room. Catherine, here you are jumping in.
Hey, I was a couple of
Hi.
minutes late. It's nice to be here.
Thank you.
As always, the minute I hop in, you were talking about COS. What is that again?
Yes, conditions of satisfaction.
See, that's brand new to me.
Put this in the record books.
I
Friend.
haven't heard the COS, conditions of satisfaction. I mean, that's brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Oh, thank you.
Totally.
Yes.
It's like, boom, I arrived. I got like this incredible nugget of wisdom. I'm like, touchdown. Thank you.
Catherine, we have the fairy godmother thing here where we always add value. We always have a little fun. We always get a little laughing going on in our calls.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm just, your zone of genius never ceases to amaze me. So I appreciate it. I totally appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yeah. And, knowing this along with part of, your masterful work as founder of the Conscious Parenting Revolution, of course, is to really find out what's the great unmet needs. You frequently talk about this in your work. So
I talk about the unmet need, but I don't talk about conditions of satisfaction. And I mean, of course, I deal with families, not as much the corporate space like you do, although, as you know, it's like something I'm trying to figure out how to bridge. And hence here I am showing up at your mastermind.
Thank you.
Yeah, because it's something I'm fascinated at trying to figure out. And I know you've already done it. So you're my leader. You're teaching me the way. But yeah, I mean, the ability to adapt that to just families as well.
Yeah.
Conditions of satisfaction. It's going to come out in my next coaching call.
I love it. I love it. Yes, yes. And of course, beautiful. Okay. So sisters, I think we're adding a little value here by being here, showing up and sharing. So this is what I want to model for you is we give you a platform in which you can showcase your brilliance and do these truth bombs. Yeah. And I mean, what a difference it would make to have a conversation, Catherine, about what truly are your conditions of satisfaction? Like that's
so
a mic
sweet.
drop.
I mean, it's such a wonderful thing to bring into a family. Could you imagine a dad sitting down with his kids and saying, tell me about your conditions of satisfaction? I mean, it makes me smile. Everything about me right now is just smiling with the thought of it. I had a powerful and difficult conversation with a dad on a coaching call last night, which is family in recovery from some breakdowns. And I thought, yeah, this would be good. This would be good. Nice bridge. Thank you.
Nice. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. I think that this term and this concept helps, as you're talking about, build a bridge to the other person, to have them kind of do a pattern interrupt to say, okay, well, what does satisfaction look like for me? How can I be satisfied? Because I think there are people that are perpetually unsatisfied. They live their life unsatisfied. And so what would satisfaction look like? And then how can we come together and add value and meet those needs in a satisfying way?
It's
right?
that shift away from complaining about all the things that we don't have, or the things that we don't want, or the things that we do have that we don't want, all that sort of space, rather than the creative side, like, okay, I'm the source of my own experience. Well, then what can I do to bring as source something that would transform my current experience into what I want? Right?
Yes.
A much more powerful conversation.
Yes. Wow. I mean, we could just end right
We could
here,
just riff.
sisters,
We
right?
could just riff and
Great.
start
Really
our own
great.
radio show.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, exactly. And here we go. We're adding, this is a perfect example how to add value, the 7 key moves to boost our values. So, we'll be leaving this
Beautiful.
call today, I think, feeling very satisfied. Maybe if some of us might want to light up a cigarette and feel like we're really satisfied, something like that. That is way beyond the age group of most of the ladies on our call.
That's right. Only you and I in college and grad school smoking away. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Connie, you're smiling. You're just, we're delighted that our masterclass here, our live stream is I won't even say it's going sideways because it's going exactly where it needs to go. Yes. Yes. Good. Okay. So conditions of satisfaction. Okay. Truth bomb. Boom. Fabulous. All right. I have here. You thought that was good. Okay. Come on. Get
Just
ready.
wait.
Get ready. Yes, exactly. So yeah. So key move number 4, we talked about what's their yes, what's their no. Oh my gosh. Better to ask that question during the beginning of the relationship. Certainly, in the middle of the end, okay, you will be, but one of the common questions that I ask during the honeymoon period with clients, and you know what I'm talking about, each of you, this beautiful time where everything is so lovely and things are great and you're vibing with them, they're vibing with you, and we want that to continue forever. However, sometimes bumps arrive in the road, and so I want to know at the very beginning of my coaching relationship and my consulting, what are the things that are going to take you out of this program, this coaching agreement, this situation? What are the things that are going to derail you? And what are the things that what could I be doing that will annoy you and will upset you? And what in the past has not worked for you? Now, I don't stack all those questions all at once because, as great coaches, we don't stack questions, but, kind of talking about the unsaid. And so it's a game changer. You add value by really asking questions that perhaps no one in the world has ever asked them, for deep intimacy, deep listening and learning and connection. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes we won't know until we get into it, but you've already set the foundation, that firm foundation of trust and value. Okay. So feel free, jump right in. Anything that you want to insert into this conversation, this masterclass here. And then 5 out of 7. And again, we move through this so quickly, but key move number 5 is, what are the boundaries that your clients, your colleagues, your family members are looking to move beyond? What are those boundaries? You can add so much value by knowing what the boundaries are. Okay. And appropriately helping them move beyond those boundaries if they're ready, if they're willing, if the conditions of satisfaction tell you that I want to move beyond my comfort zone. Okay. You, as their trusted advisor, can help them move beyond it. Okay. But doing it without permission, doing it in a way to be, radical or cause and effect, can really injure the relationship. So asking permission and then holding the hand of the client, so to speak, holding the client, let them know that it's safe to move beyond these boundaries, but know what the boundaries are. You can add value by that and helping them move beyond those boundaries. Heck, that's why they're hiring you, right? To help them get out of their situation that they're in or move into a better situation. If they could do it by themselves, they wouldn't be hiring you, right? Okay. So key move number 6 out of 7 is content. Of course, you add value by creating content that's important to your ideal clients, your dream clients, your ideal community. And so if we're back, creating content that is back in the day using the Gutenberg press, old timey kind of content, maybe not so relevant for where you're going and where your community's going. So thinking about the kind of content, how do people want to be served? And sisters, let's serve them. Okay. Do they like audio better than video? Do they like text? We talked about this earlier, all the different ways to serve them. But when it comes to content, what's getting the most activation and action and feedback? Okay. What's that content? Is it our LinkedIn posts? Is it a newsletter? Is it, videos? Is it audible? Is it a podcast? What is it that they like? And then let's give them more of that. Okay. And of course, we know doing the things that are in your zone of genius that you love to do. Like I love to do these kinds of live streams. I love it. So this is in my zone of genius, what I'd love to do, and do more of it. Okay. And then finally, number 7, key move number 7 is community. Community. Post-COVID, we know that people are craving community. They're craving connection with other people in person, and also having deeper connection with people over Zoom. We're never going to be out of this virtual kind of community, kind of connection, but hybrids are really hot right now. So provide more value by providing more community. I just had a client yesterday introduce me to a person that I love to get in connection with, a person whom I've never really even thought. I just didn't think I would reach out. I thought, well, I'd like to know this person. He is a tremendous thought leader, really beautiful, wonderful philanthropist, well-known man, very seasoned man. And I have no agenda other than how can I serve him in his community and create a reciprocal kind of relationship. He adds value to me, I add value to him, and I just trust and know there will be an intersection of opportunities. So my current client is making the introduction. We're having a call next week. Delightful, like a little 15-minute Zoom conversation. And I'm going to be listening, showing up as my great self, providing value, listening, asking key questions, being prepared, doing my homework as each of you would be doing, okay? Listening for what's the great unsaid with this wonderful man. So for each of you, I'd like to even think about, we leave our call today with a challenge to go out and examine the key value. What are we doing right now? What are the conditions of satisfaction that our clients have? Are we fulfilling those? How can we bridge the gap? Okay, so key move number 7, community. And then, of course, I always deliver, sisters. Key move number 8 is get to know your clients, your communities, colleagues, partners, friends, everybody in your world. Get to know what is their big why in life. Number 1, pretty basic stuff there, but I'd like to expand it a little further to say, what's their why now? What's their why now? So what's their big why, and what's their big why now? Why is it important to them now? Get to know what's happening with them in their life. Are they transitioning? They relocating? Are they in a major reinvention time in their life? What's important to them now? And then, of course, serve them, serve them, serve them, serve them, and be ready to answer the question, what's important to me now too? Okay. So reciprocal, we're not, this is not a one-way conversation. Value is a two-way street. All right. So quick recap, the 7 key moves with an 8 as a bonus. What's in it for me? Communication, connection, deep communication, know a person's yes and no, boundaries, content, community, and deep why and why now. So with that, thank you so much for being part of our live stream today. We are so committed to guiding and mentoring and supporting the unstoppable, committed you as a powerful woman, as a coach, consultant, trusted advisor, thought leader, visionary in the world. We have a platform in our council to do that, because together we are creating a world where we have committed and powerful coaches. As I said at the very beginning of our live stream, We have 8 billion people now. We've surpassed 8 billion people on the planet. My stand is that all 8 billion people have a great coach. Okay. So sisters, we have a lot of work to do. So what's next? Come to our Saturday morning Women's Success Circle. Fabulous. We have a different theme and topic every week. We're now on our 56th consecutive Saturday. These are the most delicious and delightful conversations you will have the entire week. So come and join us 27 minutes because the number 27 means new beginnings. And so with that, check out our YouTube channel, subscribe. We're now up to, I think we're up to 94 individual, powerful videos. Catherine, you have several videos on our Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. Really great videos. Oh my goodness. Folks, these are graduate level, PhD level master classes. Each one, they're just gorgeous. We have a lot of fun too. We laugh. They're really great. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Soon to be moved over to the C-Suite network too, by the way. We're going to have co-activation YouTube. We're going to have big activation over on C-Suite network, which is great. And so with that, thank you. We're so committed to you, your greatness, your power. Come back and see us. Come join the Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. We want you. We love you. We want to showcase you. Yeah, great. Any
Thank
final
you.
words, any takeaways from our time?
Thank you so much, Kathleen. I'm so glad I popped in. Like I said, this has, just been an amazing sort of like bomb of awesome content, little tips that are so powerful. Yeah, and easy to implement. Yeah, so I'm really excited. Thanks.
Good. Thank you. Great. Thank you. Bye for now. Can't wait to see you. We've got great programs planned for July 2023. Lots of love now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, ladies.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.